Welcome, welcome, welcome. Watch the game sports. Week 2 in the NFL is in the books. I'm your man, LA Cheatham.
What's up, good people? It's Pinchman Bannicle. What's happening? What's going on? What's going on? Are y'all okay?
Hey, man, it's a lot to talk about. A lot of bad football from a couple different perspectives. But let me first and foremost, let me tell the good people to subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Watch the game sports. I would like to tell you that's the best way to participate in the show because we're really looking forward to your comments. And jump into the comment section, and maybe my man Penn will see it on the other end. But so with that being said, I'm gonna send a special shout out to my man B.O.B. Bob Sanders very early in the show.
Yo.
The real deal, Will Bates. Of course, he went down to Houston and he went to see the Bears play the Texans. I think Mr. Flip the Hood. Yeah, I think Mr. Flip the Hood went down as well. Yeah. Mr. Dwayne Ransomfer. I think one of the Jasper boys was down there too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Tay was down there. I saw him posting on Facebook. Looked like he went down there with some of his homies.
Yeah,
it was a couple, Facebook friends that I have, that I actually talk to, but I don't know them like that. You know what I'm saying? But they was down there, so shout out to them. Shout out to Cutter Pac-Man, Sean, Deb. We was all, going crazy on the group text. Shout out my boy Nate. What's happening? Nate was going crazy. Nate waited to the end of the game to go crazy with me on the text message on Sunday night. So, shout out to everybody watching. We appreciate y'all being here on Watch the Game Sports. And we're going to talk about what we watched on Sunday.
Yeah, man. I'm going to go ahead and let you get it out the way. So the Bears go into Houston. The theme for this weekend, this past weekend, was Chicago was taking over Houston. Dwayne, Mr. Flip the Hood, Dwayne Ransomfer, my man Will Bates, and like you said, Tay.
Yeah,
three of those, three people that went down. And Chicago took over Houston. But at around 7:15, it all changed. Shout out to them for going down and supporting their team. But what's your take on the Bears?
Yeah. My first question to everybody that traveled and made the trip. I hope the memories were worth it because I know how we are when we go to the big house or something. We always have to have the discussion. Are we trying to see a game? Are we trying to see a win?
Yeah,
because them tickets ain't cheap. You already know what I'm talking about.
Nope. That's the first thing I thought about, man. When you make that investment and you take that trip, hey, I hope the tailgate was good. They went down there and ate up all their food, drunk up all their liquor.
Yeah,
and I hope they had a good time. But like you said, you want to go see a win when you make that type of investment. But I'm pretty sure they had a ball. A lot of them were posting. I'm pretty sure pregame, night before, they had a ball. But like I said, around 7:15, 7:20, it got real.
It was real. And you know what? And I think everybody that went, they probably had the Bears losing this game just based on the Texans, being a playoff team last year. But it's how we lost. I don't think after, the offseason that the Bears just had, and I don't know if everybody made it through the end of the Hard Knocks, just the shiny gloss of paint just came off on Sunday night. And it just looked like what we've been accustomed to seeing as Bears fans. No shade. That ain't no shade to Caleb or nothing like that. That's more on
the organization.
Yes, that's what I was about to say. I was about to say
But
we've been outlining the offensive line. That ain't new. We've been talking about that for what 2 years at least. But the coaching, we said from the beginning, the weakness of this team is offensive line and the head coach. Reason it's the head coach is because he's a defensive guy. Yeah, he can go and make the hires and try and go get a offensive coordinator to coach him up. But when you look at places like Kevin O'Connell or even what Shane Steichen is doing on with the Colts, I know they haven't won yet, but it's looking like it's trending in the right direction. Even what the Panthers did, hey, Bryce ain't
mhm.
getting it done. And,
Interesting. That's an interesting situation. I don't even know if we got enough time to get off into that because it's a lot I want to get off into when you talk about the quarterback position, when you talk about paying quarterbacks and developing quarterbacks. You kind of got to put guys in position to succeed. And I think Bryce Young was a casualty of that, right? As of right now,
new
I
coach,
think
yeah.
I just think he has not been put in the best situation. And like I said, I don't. You know how I feel. I'm not big on the smaller stature quarterback. So I
But he
wasn't really
can't be
high.
that. Yeah, he can't be this bad. Like, he
Yeah,
he
I
can't be this
wasn't.
bad. I mean,
Yeah, but
18 guys.
when I look at if we dive into the stats, um, you know when I see a young quarterback hit the field, first second year guy, the first 5 to 10 plays, granted they have no penalties, will tell me a whole lot about the game plan and how much they expect from a quarterback. And when you have a young quarterback, you have to supply him with some type of running game. I believe you got to win in the trenches first, and then you have to give that guy time to throw the football. Now I didn't see the game between the Panthers and I forgot who it was they played. Let me see. They
Uh,
played
damn. I was just thinking about Panthers played the Chargers. Jim
yeah,
Harbaugh.
they went down and they played your boy Jim Harbaugh. And was I'm not sure if that was a road game, home game for the Panthers or
That
not.
was a home game for the Panthers.
Home game for the Panthers. Now they've benched Bryce Young for uh
Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton. Um, if they had made this move week one, considering they had a new head coach, I wouldn't have had a problem with that
Right.
because you got a new head coach and he might want to be working some things out with his rookie quarterback. I mean, now with his second year quarterback and he's getting to know the guy. Also, Bryce Young didn't play a lot in the exhibition season, so that's another thing. And when you look at the level of play all around the league with the offenses, you could tell that there's a lot of offenses with not a lot of chemistry for that reason. Um, but we can get back up into that a little later.
Cleveland Browns. I'm telling you, I said it last week. Cleveland.
Okay,
I know Freaky Deshaun, then had another situation come out, and that was
allegedly.
yeah,
Hmm.
that was after I had said this. But
Hmm.
Kevin Stefanski, I think he's been coach of the year twice. He's an offensive coach. I'm trying to go get him because they clearly not happy with what they getting from the quarterback position. They was a playoff team last year, and they called Joe Flacco in off the couch, and they made the playoffs. I gotta think if Bryce would get with somebody like that, he'd be okay. If I'm Cleveland, yeah, I'm making that call because you probably could
So,
get him now for pennies.
so you want Bryce with Cleveland and Deshaun with Carolina?
I'm
Is
just
that
saying
what you're saying?
I'm saying it makes sense for because Carolina's in disarray as an organization. I don't think they're very well run. They fired a coach in the middle of the season last year. They just brought this new coach in. There had to be some conversation that Bryce is our guy. So make this work. And here it is, going into week 3, he's not even the starter no more. So Cleveland, they not happy with Deshaun. I would try and facilitate that and move off of that, because I'm sure at this point he's he's been in Cleveland 3 years. So he's coming up on the point where they can just swallow that dead cap money. We just saw the Broncos eat what, 37 mil or something
Mm-hmm.
for us.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Yeah.
getting to that point that a franchise will be willing to eat that money. Cleveland ain't
Well,
that far off. They got a
I,
great
I
defense.
give you that, but they just won a football game, so they're like 1-1. I think he even scored a touchdown.
He did.
Now, whatever his situation is with the lawsuit or whatever the alleged case that's been brought up against him most recently, they can have a lot to do with what you're talking about as far as if they jump off of him or not. But right now, winning cures all, I believe. And when you talk about the Panthers, now they're in a position where if they've given up on Bryce Young, they're gonna have to. I don't know the stipulations on paying him,
He on his rookie
but
deal too.
yeah, he's on his rookie deal. But I wouldn't go in on Deshaun because that big contract he has, that guaranteed money or whatever it is. But the thing about it is, if you the Panthers, I mean, you still in. If you're going to give up on Bryce, you got to keep yourself in position to go out and get another quarterback. So the best way to do that is to stay pat and just hopefully you can end up in the top 3, top 4 of the draft, and you can go get another quarterback.
And
Now,
that's what they're doing. I mean, it looked like that. I mean, Andy Dalton is not a 1 anymore. He's not QB1. He's had several stops since he left here. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So they already playing for the draft. I believe. I mean, they got to know that, yeah, we ain't making no playoff run now. I'm
hmm
sure they know that inside the building. So again, and adding Deshaun to that, based on his play, is not going to improve their chances. Just
like I said in Cleveland, 1-1, winning cures all, 1 week at a time. It's a sticky situation for both quarterbacks when you talk about Deshaun Watson and Bryce Young. It's a really interesting situation for both of them quarterbacks for 2 very different reasons. One was not put in the best position, and the other one, Deshaun just he can't get it right off the field. It's an interesting
allegedly.
situation. And
Yeah.
yes, that's right, allegedly.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, when you look at some of the guys that might be coming out of college, which is a whole different discussion that I really don't want to get into because I don't think we have the time to do it tonight. But for the Carolina Panthers, they'd be better off just staying. In my opinion, they'd be better off if they're gonna go with um if they're gonna go with what's my man
Andy
name?
Dalton.
Andy
Andy,
Dalton. If they're gonna go with Andy Dalton, and now the thing about that is Andy Dalton ain't playing to lose.
oh yeah, I
You
know
got
because
to
he's
think
trying to
he's
get his
not
next
playing to
one.
lose.
Yeah.
He trying to extend his career. So it's an interesting situation. So I don't know if they're trying to win with Andy or if they just want if they want to give Bryce a little bit more time. Or right now everybody's kind of writing them off. It's gonna be interesting. But let's get back to these Bears. We can get back. We can get back. We can get
Yeah,
back to some of these
we
other topics later.
off,
And I really want to know. Let me send a shout out to Will Bates again and my man Bob Bob Sanders. They watching right now, so I
yeah.
want to make sure I acknowledge those guys. Now, if you participating in making the comments in the show, it's best to go to YouTube, watch the game sports, and get in that chat. Now, Will and Bob fortunately will be joining us at some point in time during the season. I'm looking forward to having those guys on. I really value their opinions on football and many other sports. But so I want to shout them guys out. Man, what's up with these Bears? How do you feel? Because I told you how I felt long
Yes.
time ago.
So I walked away from Sunday. That was a very winnable game. Again, I'll say it again. I think most Bears fans went into that game expecting the Bears to lose that game. But as it unfolded, and the defense was kept holding serve, kept holding serve, kept holding serve. Look, hey, we might could steal this thing. And then the
Mhm.
third quarter happened. Is every drop back, it was Caleb had, Texans, they might as well have been blocking for him, been in the huddle with him, because every drop back, they was just on him. Offensive line, I'll get to them in a second. The penalties was killing me in the third quarter. I hate watching football games where we can't get into a flow of the game because there's so many, there's so much yellow laundry on the field. That's how the third quarter was, and that started to agitate me. And then the fact that the line couldn't block, that ramped me up a little bit more. And then on top of that, I'm seeing Nico go off. And you know how I've been highly, highly critical of Jalen Johnson, talking all how he was last year, saying he the best quarterback in the league. Okay, if you're gonna talk like that, then I need to see it. And he does not pass the eye test again, because I guess even if the game plan was, you know what, I got Stephon Diggs, I'm taking him out the game.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs is not prime Stephon Diggs no more. Let's just be honest, okay? He's a nice piece to have on your team. He's a nice guy to have in the wide receiver room as long as he keeps his attitude in check. But you got Nico going crazy on the other side. There's no way in this world Deion Primetime Sanders sees that happening to the cornerback on the other side and say, all right, you got him. I'm going to keep this locked down over here.
Mhm.
Don't switch.
Mhm.
I don't give a
Yeah.
I don't give a
Yeah.
damn what the D coordinator game plan is. Players
Mhm.
make plays.
Yeah.
Okay, I got him. Stevenson, you go over here to the other side. And now, if that happens, and then Stevenson start getting exposed on Stephon Diggs, okay, then we got a problem to talk. We got to talk about Stevenson at that point. But you can't. You just can't. You can't. You can't. The challenges that head coach, I almost called him Mike Eberflus.
Mhm.
Matt Eberflus, was it Kyler Gordon? Kyler Gordon. It was clear on the replay that ball hit the ground. I know in the moment it was a big play. It could have
Mhm.
turned the tide of the game. I
Yeah.
know in the moment as a player, he thought he had it. Because I know from playing basketball, I didn't step out. I hit that three. My
Mhm.
head was not on the line. I know it wasn't.
Mhm.
I practiced it.
Mhm.
No. But you gotta have some level of, I gotta see the forest for the trees. I cannot burn this time out in this challenge on a bad challenge because I've already burned one. Now I got none
Yeah.
left in the game.
Mhm.
That's why
Mhm.
I just think, and we saw this on Hard Knocks. Eberflus looks like he just a guy just happy to go along for the ride. I'm chummy with the players. Like, we cool. I'm giving them nicknames, Canadian Eagle and all this other. But a head coach, there's no way. There's no way. Let's take Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh's not. He's not calling the challenge. And I've been highly critical of Jim and his coaching, but he's not calling
Mhm.
the challenge there. Andy
Yeah.
Reid's not calling the challenge there. Like,
Mhm.
it's not your guy, Belichick, is not calling the challenge there when the video clearly shows the ball hit the ground. So it's just
Mhm. Mhm.
mind-boggling that, on top
Yeah.
of the physicists we have, that the coaches are not. Hey, Shane Waldron. Hey, you're an offensive coordinator. This is
Mhm.
not your
Mhm.
first rodeo. I get it. It's not your first time being an offense. You're not Luke Getzey. Luke Getzey was a quarterback coach. Then he had to learn how to call plays in the league. Shane Waldron, you've been doing this. What in your right mind leads you to believe my offensive line cannot block? So, hey, let me start chipping. Let me max protect. Let me do some other things. But you left your rookie quarterback out there who's undersized because, 6 foot at best? You
Yeah.
left him out there versus, and the Texans have given the rest of the NFL the blueprint on how to beat the Bears. The Texans don't even blitz that much.
That's interesting. There's a lot of people been saying that. There's a lot of people been saying that. So um I forget the offensive line coach name for the Bears. He's
And
been getting a
might as well be his name.
well. I forget his name right now. And I'm not in position to
I
look
look
it up.
I look it up for you.
But he's been getting now. This is the thing with the Bears, and when they went out and they got rid of Luke Getzey, shout out to Phil Lotoshin, Tape Never Lies Network, very knowledgeable, big time Bears
Chris
fan.
Morgan is the Bears O
Chris
line coach.
Morgan, nickname C-Mo. C-Mo. So this the thing. So when the Bears got rid of Luke Getzey, okay, they kept C-Mo, Morgan. They kept Chris Morgan. So does that mean that your offensive coordinator didn't get a chance to pick his own offensive line coach? That's where the problem, part of the problem lies right there. Now, maybe, I don't know, maybe they've worked together. Well, maybe they most definitely they were convinced to work together. Maybe they worked together in another place. But Seymour was kept from the previous staff after they got rid of Luke Getzey, the running back coach, and the defensive coordinator over a period of time. So that's a red flag right there. Um, I'm not gonna dig into too many of the other red flags right now because I think it's too early for
But
that.
let me just I ain't we ain't gonna we dig on it. We just gonna say that we noticed it. When have you ever seen DJ Moore that hot?
He looked very frustrated.
Yeah,
And mind you,
he just
he's
got
coming off. He just got paid. And remember what I told you. If you want to know what you got in any professional athlete, pay him. Pay him and see what the effort is. It's not a lack of effort so far with DJ Moore. He wants to win. He wants to be put in a position to win. And he's coming off a career year. And that quarterback is in Pittsburgh. But I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about that.
yeah.
We're going to get that some time. We're going to get that some time. Just like I'm going to give this some time to develop. I'm not going to be. I just pointed out a couple red flags. It's obviously we can see that the offensive line isn't good. You know, it don't take a rocket science to see that. I mean, a rocket scientist to see that. You can take someone has no interest in football and take them into through the tape and tell them this guy's supposed to do this guy's supposed to do that. It ain't gonna take them long to figure out. Yeah, the offensive line was bad.
You ain't even got to take him to the tape. You can take him to Buffalo Wild Wings to get some wings in the field with the sound off.
Yeah.
These guys can't block nobody. Are you sure these pros playing college players? What's going on right here? Because we need to know.
And I'm gonna tell you another thing. See, this is why when all the practice was going on and everybody was reporting how great it was looking in practice, and we was all impressed with the bells and whistles. What I mean are the bells and whistles are the guys on the perimeter. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Dunze, and Everett, Cole Komet, and my man DeAndre Swift. Very talented weapons in the backfield and on the perimeters. But the trenches weren't right. All throughout training camp, guys were missing. One guy, Nate Davis, they've been highly critical of Nate Davis not practicing. Those are just a few red flags that I'm gonna point out. Now, I've been kind of paying attention to how they gonna criticize the quarterback. Yes, he could have been better. Okay, I get it, but he can't be a whole lot better if he don't have time. He can't be a whole lot better if he does not have time to throw the ball. If the offensive line and the running backs cannot establish the run game, and I also think we got to think with the personnel groupings. We're seeing a lot more Travis Homer than normal.
Yeah.
Now, Travis Homer worked with Shane Waldron in Seattle, I believe. So there's a little bit of maybe some favoritism there. He's a little bit more familiar with him. And then you got Khalil Herbert, who we know to be productive as a second back. Khalil Herbert has been put in a situation when he had to be the feature back and did pretty well. So we know he's capable of getting the job done, but he's in limited capacity first two games. That
Mhm.
we do notice. I have no problem with Swift, but keep in mind, Swift didn't play a whole lot in the preseason in the exhibition, just like the rest of the guys. I think Swift may have had two or three carries in the first game. I don't think he played another game after that. So just like the rest of the league, there's maybe some chemistry issues with the offensive line, the running backs hitting the right holes and seeing the right holes and stuff like that. But your quarterback cannot be successful with all this negativity going on around him. Now, what I did see from Caleb is what many experts and critics said they didn't think he would be able to do. It seemed like he got to the point where he tried to do some things on his own and it didn't go well. Not often, but late in that game, it looked like he did get frustrated. He said, "You know what?
He found
I'm
out
gonna
it
do
wasn't
my thing a little
Swift
bit,"
real quick. Yeah.
and it didn't look good and it didn't
Yeah.
go well. So on the positive side, now, we know the Bears couldn't run the football, couldn't establish the run, or if they couldn't do it, they mostly gave up on it. Okay. So I'm not gonna dig into the numbers. I think everybody we 2 days removed. I'm not gonna get so far into the numbers. I think if you interested in this game of football, you know the numbers by now. If you watch these games, you know the numbers by now. But you saw it. They didn't establish the run game. And like I told you before we went on, after those first 15 plays, it got real ugly for the Bears because he didn't look too bad when he first got out there. He was hitting some high percentage throws. Guys was making plays. Right around the time you got into like maybe play maybe 18, 19, 20, give it give a couple penalties, be here there. Things went haywire, and the game plan, the scheme probably went to hell.
Yeah.
Okay, it wasn't working. But I'm gonna tell you this: coaching matters, bro. And this is how I'm gonna segue into this Indianapolis Colts game. We had we had the benefit to sit back and watch the Colts and the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Matt LaFleur and the Green Bay Packers traded for Malik Willis probably about 2 weeks ago, just before the start of the season.
It was right after 53-man cut day.
Okay, so game two, keep in mind, the Bears have had Caleb Williams in camp all camp, all the OTAs,
You got to go back
training
before
camp.
that. Before that,
Listen, this
they
is
was
what
doing
I'm
the
getting to.
install at the combine.
Yeah, some say allegedly they gave him the playbook way before
Yeah.
before the OTA. Okay, but this is what I'm getting to. Malik Willis gets traded to the Packers from the Tennessee Titans. Okay. By the way, the Tennessee Titans and the Packers will be matching up. That's going to be another interesting matchup. They'll be playing each other this week. So Malik Willis will get a chance to go and play against his former team. But this is what I'm getting to. Coaching matters. Matt LaFleur, can you pull up them stats
For the
from that
Packers.
Green Bay Packers and
Yeah, I got it.
yeah, can you pull them stats from the Colts and Packers? Going into this game, the scouting report said the Colts can't stop the run. Hey man, Matt LaFleur put together a game plan. They found every possible way to smash mouth run the football. The running backs ran the ball. The
Jay,
wide receivers ran the ball. Malik ran the ball. How many times did Malik throw the football?
Malik threw the football 14 times.
You see what I'm saying? Coaching matters. That tells me then in a week and a half, they put together a game plan that fit their quarterback skill set on a limited basis to go out and win a football game. Now, the Colts just played the Texans in a relatively high scoring football game, especially for early in the football season. I don't know how many defensive touchdowns or offensive touchdowns or field goals played into the final score. But the bottom line is Matt LaFleur put his quarterback in position to win a football game. He didn't ask him to go win the game. He put him in position not to lose. He put him in position to win a football game. And he had a touchdown pass. Can you read me back his stats, man?
You want his passing stats? 12 out of 14, 122, one touchdown.
How many times he passed the football?
14, 1-4.
Yeah, yeah. Almost like my man in San Francisco when he had Garoppolo when he was like, nah man, you're not gonna lose this game. We're gonna smash mouth this game. That's exactly what Matt LaFleur did. He put together a game plan to go out and beat the Colts. They couldn't stop the run. He said, look, guys, we're gonna run it down their throat. Shout out to my man Ike Washington, number 22.
Yo, yo.
Number 22, EC's finest, Ike Washington. He's watching us right now. So what up, Ike? Um, but coaching matters, bro. Coaching matters. Now, I said all of that to say this. The Bears should be able to establish the run in Indianapolis this weekend.
If they don't, does that magnify? Because we already know the offensive line is bad, but we just went on. You just outlined how the Colts cannot stop the run. If the Bears cannot establish a run game versus the Colts, does that magnify, establish the fact that, yeah, Ryan Poles, you did a great job getting us these weapons, but if we can't protect the trigger man, if we can't assist the trigger man and giving him a running game because he's a rookie, are we starting to look at Ryan Poles just a little bit different? Like, you did a good job, but you basically play fantasy football.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Look, man, you got to protect the quarterback. The quarterback got to play better, but you got to win the game in the trenches. You cannot go out right now and ask Caleb Williams to win a football game right now. And from what I seen, that's exactly what they did in Houston. It's like they was like, know what, guys? The defense went out, special teams went out against Tennessee, and they won the game, and we got to pay it back to them. We got to go out. And I can't argue with that. You know, you want to do better than you did in week one offensively, but you still got to establish the run. And when Khalil Herbert don't get to touch the ball, and you got Travis Homer on the field, I question the politicals, the favorites, the this my guy and that's my guy, and all this stuff. Now, one thing we called it, Valus Jones. You can't blame Valus for this one because Valus was a scratch. Valus was on the sideline. See, the Bears' problem is they got to figure out the personnel groupings all the way around. Now, the defense is fine, but now they're saying they got to switch guys around on the offensive line. But see, it goes back to guys missing practice in training camp. Number one, the $10 million man with Nate Davis. You know, we not really having a center. There's even people now in the Chicago media on draft night were very excited about getting Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze.
Hmm.
But now that the offensive line doesn't look good, they're questioning whether or not they should have got Rome Odunze. Now all of a sudden, they should have got an offensive lineman. And maybe so. But see, this the thing. This is why I told you when they got rid of Justin Fields. I'm peeling back, bro. I want them to show me now. Okay? I want them to show me now. And that's why I'm in the show me mode. And to be fair to Caleb Williams, I'm not gonna be critical. I'm gonna give it some time. I'm gonna give it about 6 more weeks before I have a judgment on him. He's a rookie. All mind you, I didn't want him. I wanted to keep Justin, but I'm gonna give it some time. I'm gonna give Seymour time to get that offensive line together. We're gonna give Shane Waldron some time to get this scheme together. And the only thing we can hope is that they can stay healthy on both ends of the football.
Well, they already not that already. Rome banged up. Keenan got a
Well,
heel
Rome showed some gut, man. Rome was questionable to play in the
in the
in
Sunday
the in the
night.
game against the Texans. So with that being said, we had to go on tonight, and I appreciate the people for joining us tonight. It's not gonna be long. We're gonna get out of here soon. But it's gonna be interesting to see what type of game plan they go in with against the Colts. They should be able to run the football. I expect for them to be better. I expect for Caleb to be better, but at the same time, what, like you said, and like many other people have said, they've given the league the blueprint on maybe the blueprint on beating the Bears. Now, on the defensive end, the Colts do have some key injuries, so that might put them at a disadvantage. But what's the game plan? I would imagine they're gonna try and run the football. I'd imagine because the thing about Chicago, and maybe this goes on throughout the league from city to city. We got all these media outlets, sports talk radio. We got two sports talk radio stations in Chicago. And you got all these podcasts and they hear the noise, bro. They make the adjustments based on what fans and media say. So expect the Bears to go out and try to run the football. I expect to see Khalil Herbert get more touches if DeAndre Swift can't get it going. So now the theme is they taking over Indy. And I'm pretty sure, and from Chicago to Indianapolis, it
That
ain't that
ain't
far.
yeah. That's an album.
So,
You put
so,
one
so,
album
so,
on and you can
so,
get
so we gonna have a Super Bowl rematch or Super Bowl rematch. You know what I'm saying? From back in the day when Lovey and
Tony Dungy.
when Tony Dungy went at it, when Peyton Manning and Sexy Rexy went at it. So they gonna do it. They're gonna be doing it again in Indy. The theme is that I you go down social media, you can see the parties already getting started. People already picking their clubs, picking their drinks. They're gonna be barbecuing. They're gonna be doing it, man. So Chicago gonna go down. They're gonna take over Indianapolis. We're gonna see what happens around high noon on Sunday.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh
I
yeah.
expect for them to run the football or attempt to run the football. Now, before we get off, and then I'm gonna let you spill, and we gonna get out. I want to acknowledge a couple guys around from just a quick take on the league. We talked about Bryce Young being snatched and being benched with the Carolina Panthers. We didn't touch on Tua's situation, questionable situation in Miami. Um, with his concussion issues. They're saying he may be out for the season. On the bright side, Alvin Kamara, the New Orleans Saints went into Dallas 44-19 and put it down.
Yeah.
Did you see Derek Carr doing the Michael He was doing the Mike Jackson in the end zone, man. You know when he grabbed himself. Did you see
Yeah,
it, man? The New Orleans Saints went down to Dallas and had a ball. Now
yeah.
that's when they took over. They went to Dallas and took over. But Alvin Kamara had a hell of a game. I think he had 3 touchdowns. I think he may have caught one and ran for 2. And another guy that I want to point out because I'm pretty sure I'm missing quite a few other guys is Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
Uh 2 touchdowns. I can't remember the numbers, but I know he had over 100 yards receiving. I think he had like 7 receptions, maybe 130 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns.
I give you the numbers.
And I got to give my man Kyler Murray some credit. You know, I ain't a big fan of Kyler Murray, but he threw him the pill and they got the job done.
Four
So,
receptions, 130 yards, 2 tubs.
okay, there you go. So half his receptions went for touchdowns.
Right.
4 receptions. I thought he had 7. 4 receptions for 130 and 2 touchdowns. So
He went
Marvin,
what's my man? He went Bill Russ on him. Bill won 11 championships in 13 years. Wait, we ain't win a championship this year? Oh, y'all got to get it together. And then when they lost the second, I'm out of here, Jack. I can't.
yeah, hey. So all that generational talk that we talked about previously to the draft, we gonna see. We gonna see. None of the quarterbacks are none of the rookie quarterbacks are playing particularly well.
None of them got touchdown passes.
Like I say, that's a whole different show. We're gonna get into that one day because my man Sterain want to talk about that one night. One night we're gonna get together, we're gonna talk about developing quarterbacks, and then we're gonna talk about paying quarterbacks. And what I think personally as a fan, what I think the NFL's criteria should be around the league for paying a quarterback based on um playoff success, MVPs, and stuff like that. But
Yeah. Every
um
quarterback is not worth 25% of your salary cap.
no, no, for sure. For sure. Because you can spread that money around if you ain't winning championships. You
Exactly.
can spread that money around and make your team better. But like I said, that's a whole different discussion. So any games, we talked about the Bears and Colts. You know they playing at high noon on Sunday. I
Yeah.
think the Jets, I don't know who kicking it off on Thursday. The Jets,
Let me see. Week 3 is Jets and Patriots.
so Jets and Patriots kicking it off on Thursday night. So they'll be kicking off week 3. And I don't know how intriguing that matchup is, but the the Atlanta Falcons went into Philly and beat
So
the Eagles,
yeah.
and they match up with the Chiefs. So that's going to be a big matchup. I think that's going to be a decent matchup for next week. And I think I pointed out the Titans. And the only reason why I'm putting this out because Malik Willis gets to go to Tennessee and play against his former team just 2-3 weeks after getting traded to the Packers. And he gonna go out there and he gonna be able to put it on the line because I can't say they totally sold on my man Will Levis.
Oh
I
no,
mean he
no.
he gave away 7 points against the Jets the other day. So
And he
it's
gave
gonna
us
be an
that.
interesting matchup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave us 7. He what I'm saying is the Titans had a chance to go up 14-0 in the red zone. I think they was like at the 5-yard line. So he getting tackled. And instead of just taking the sack, he tried to pitch it back to the back, call it a fumble, take the points off the board. Now the Jets got the football. So it's gonna be an interesting matchup with the Titans and the Packers. So that's
One you didn't hit.
well
The
come on
Ravens,
with it.
the
Hmm.
Ravens going to Dallas. The Ravens are 0-2. Dallas
Yeah.
got embarrassed.
Yep.
That's
Bob. That's Bob. My man Bob and Coach Garrett.
hey,
Coach
let me
J.
tell you,
Yeah.
BOP. Let me tell you something, man. Listen, I know that's your squad, and hey, listen, I take personal satisfaction anytime that the Ravens lose. I don't know what it is about them. It's maybe it was because they used to be the Colts and then they just moved. It's something about that
They
franchise.
used to be the Browns.
Yeah, the Browns. My bad. The
Yeah.
Browns. It's something about that franchise that just bothers me. I don't know if it's the Ray Lewis, the Airy. I like them guys, but just even Shannon Sharp when he was there, it's something about that franchise that bothers me. And the fact that they came out and they was running their mouth so much before the Chiefs game and they lost. They don't have no identity. They don't know how they want Lamar to play. The way they just lost to the Raiders, that's inexcusable. Like,
Mm.
and it just makes me feel good anytime I can look and see the highlights and I see the Baltimore Ravens lose. Because I know a lot of people are picking them to go to the Super Bowl. It just makes me feel good when I see them lose.
Well, you heard it, B.O.B., man. I don't know. I don't know if you can quite call him a hater, but I don't. He might volunteer for the role. I mean, but I told you I picked the Ravens to win the Super Bowl this year, and they're not off to a good start. I thought getting Derrick Henry would most definitely strengthen their running game,
Not even
and
using it.
they use them when they get to the red zone. But I think I don't want to burn him out early. But I do think you need to make him a big part of the offense. You went out and got him, and he's at the end of his career, and I know he probably wants to win a championship, and that franchise has to be, you know, kind of seeing that window close a little bit because Lamar's the man, but you went out and you paid him. So how much more money is there to go around? Of course, they got our boy,
Did
the
you see Zay
guy
was upset? He
Say
was like,
Flowers.
yeah, like I
Yeah.
had a good first half, and y'all go away from me.
Hmm.
They got some problems there.
Yeah.
I think his football IQ is. I don't want to say it's low, but he's questioning what he is as a player. He don't want to run no more. He want to just throw all the time now, and he wastes a lot of time back there
Yeah.
scrambling back and forth. He did that in consecutive weeks.
Well, if I don't, I'm not against him trying to be a better pocket pass. I'm cool with that. But if that's the case, you got to get rid of that ball. Got to get it out your hands quick, and they got to scheme it up that way. So, especially last year, I think he gained weight, and this year,
He
I think
dropped
he
weight.
lost some weight.
Yeah,
So, interesting things going on in Baltimore. And we didn't even talk about the Cleveland. That was probably the biggest game of the week. Cleveland and Cincinnati, with Cleveland coming out
oh,
on top.
Chiefs in Cincinnati. Yeah,
Yeah, the Chiefs in Cincinnati. Sorry, the Chiefs in Cincinnati with the Chiefs coming out on top. Interesting thing about that game, Patrick Mahomes didn't play that great. And see, this is my thing. This is why keep saying that football is the ultimate team sport. The kicker, the kicker, um, probably should have been the MVP of that game. By the way, the Bears game,
mm-hmm.
the kicker was the MVP of the game for the Texans. With all of the quarterback talk,
Fairburn.
that dude went out and hit two 50+ yard field goals.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. We got to get a quick kicker some respect, bro. And it ain't, you can't just walk off the street and kick field goals. And I know a lot of people don't want to call them athletes, and they kind of like golfers. But man, look,
You
yeah,
need that. You
that
need them.
that that's a legitimate skill set, especially when you kicking from 50+ and they doing it, baby. So big week coming up, week 3. You pointed out some key matchups. I'm gonna be keying in on the Bears and the Colts, the Packers and Titans, the Dallas going up against
Baltimore.
Baltimore. So in that game in Dallas,
Yeah, it's in Dallas.
and when you can say with Baltimore and Dallas, and you got two teams kind of meeting in the same place.
Right,
Both
right.
quarterbacks have a lot to prove. So it's gonna be big. It's gonna be interesting. Watch the game. Thanks for watching.
Make sure
Hit
you
us
like,
up on
comment.
YouTube.
Yeah, you already got it. I was getting to it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Please connect with us. We are trying to grow this thing, and we want to get more involved with you. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and share with a sports lover that you know, because we
Yeah,
love
for sure.
We do.
We need you guys in that comment section so we can get this thing rocking and we can know how you really feel. Hit us up on YouTube and let's blow it up.
You already
Because sooner or later we gonna put you on. We gonna put you on. We gonna put your face on the camera, and we gonna let you speak your mind. Soon as my man P get it together, Benjamin Banneker, it's been real.
You already know. We out.